Okay, thank you so much, Laska Herlock, and can I welcome Minister Chambers, whom I can only imagine was both a gifted and a talented student himself. I'd like to start by acknowledging the long and dedicated work of a former member of this Senate and a personal friend of mine, Dr. Fidelma Healy-Eames, in this whole area of identifying and supporting and helping gifted children to blossom, and her seminal work in this area, The Gifted Learner, How to Help, is a trailblazer and has been very important here. The requirement of gifted and talented students are a frequently overlooked yet critical component of our education system. These students account for up to 10% of our population and attend every school in Ireland. Despite their potential, they are nevertheless one of the most underserved and vulnerable populations in our school today. According to research, gifted students who are not appropriately identified and nurtured can have serious mental health problems, depression, substance addiction, and even suicide ideation. This stark truth emphasises the significance of treating their needs seriously. I'm very proud, Laska Herlock, and you're a neighbour of my own, that in Breffni College, Cavan, a wonderful scheme has been long ongoing to identify and support gifted children. It's an initiative currently supported by Principal Breach Riley and coordinated by a member of the teaching staff there at Alma, which has been very well received and actually featured on Nationwide recently. This, I think, is a testament to how Cavan, as usual, is always ahead of the curve. If you will, this programme not only recognises the potential in these students, but achieves and actively nurtures it, setting an example for what can be achieved with the right support. And there's a need here, Minister, for a post holder and for timetabling to support that post holder in dealing with gifted children, and that's one of my asks. And Breffni College is the case in point. Now, continuous professional development for teachers is critical in this regard, and that's the second of my big asks, if you like. Teachers on the front line of recognising and supporting exceptional pupils, yet they may lack the necessary skills. They're in the front line, but they can lack the skills to identify them and sort them. They require extensive training to assist them understand and meet the various needs of these pupils. This includes the capacity to detect underachieving gifted individuals, as well as those who are doubly exceptional, brilliant students who will have a learning disability maybe as well, like dyslexia or whatever. These pupils frequently go undetected because their limitations obscure their skills. Nevertheless, with adequate training, teachers can learn to look past these barriers and help these youngsters thrive. Our system must ensure that gifted children are neither forgotten or overlooked. Many of these adolescents lose interest in school because they are not pushed or recognised for their ability. They require a curriculum that is not only accelerated but also rich in chances for practical application and creative expression. They require intellectual companions who share their interests and provide challenges and engage their natural curiosity. And I must compliment Dr. Colm O'Reilly and the team in DCU with the CTYAs in that regard. Now, the OECD confirms the Irish situation. Internationally, there's 10% of gifted children. It's a very high percentage. 10 out of every 100 we are at the moment not adequately catered for. Parents can play an important role as the champions of these children, as supporters, and that's happening in Breffni College, and we need to bridge the gap between these parents and the school and have them involved in the programmes, and that has to be part of the training of the teachers. I'm asking the Minister for Education to consider implementing a comprehensive continuous professional development strategy that focuses on recognising, understanding and supporting gifted and talented kids. This should include a designated teacher of responsibility within schools to maintain continuity and focus on gifted education, as well as the resources and the time required for instructors to effectively engage with these pupils. By doing so, we can help our brilliant students reach their full potential and receive the education and assistance they deserve. And I look forward to the Minister's response, which I know is the Minister for Education, Ms Foley's response, and it's critical that Minister Foley knows that this must be given priority.
Thank you, Senator Riley, and we will allow you to come back in.
Gormagat Cahirlook, and appreciate Senator Riley for raising this important issue, and I'm taking this on behalf of the Minister for Education, who is not available to be here this morning. And I want to thank you for raising this and allowing me the opportunity to outline the provisions in place to support gifted and talented students. While our students are amongst the top performers as seen in international testing, it is acknowledged that we need to strengthen our focus on the gifted and talented or exceptionally able students. To this end, the Department of Education proposes to develop a policy which will set out how we will further support these learners. The Literacy, Numeracy and Digital Literacy Strategy 24-33 was published yesterday, highlights the importance of the need for students with exceptional abilities. One of the key actions the key challenges the Department, in conjunction with other stakeholders, to ensure that exceptionally able learners are identified at an early stage and then are challenged and supported appropriately, particularly in the areas of literacy, numeracy and digital literacy. The provision of education for children with additional educational needs is a priority for Government. It's reflected in the allocation of €2.7 billion to support special education, and inclusive education is at the core of the Department's policy, which requires differentiated teaching approaches to cater for the varying levels of ability in the classroom, from providing additional supports to those experiencing difficulty to ensuring appropriate levels of challenge and enrichment for exceptionally able students. The Education Act 1998 requires boards of management of each school to publish the policy of the school relating to participation by students with special educational needs, including students who are exceptionally able. It is the duty of the boards of management to ensure that appropriate education services are made available to such students. Schools at both primary and secondary level have been encouraged to use strategies such as curriculum differentiation, curriculum enrichment and acceleration to facilitate the development of pupils who are exceptionally able. The new primary curriculum framework sets out a fresh vision for children's learning that is characterised by playfulness, creativity, challenge, risk-taking and opportunities for reasoning and solving real-life problems. As the full redevelopment of the curriculum progresses, new curriculum specifications will be developed by the NCCA for the 5 curriculum areas and their associated subjects, which will be available for the school year 25-26. Syllabi and curricula for second-level schools have been designed in such a way to enable teachers to cater for a wide range of student ability. Content is outlined in the curricula at both levels, and process is also heavily emphasised. Enabling children to learn how to learn is stressed and facilitated. The development of language skills, investigatory and problem-solving skills, higher order thinking skills and working individually and as a member group are all encouraged at both levels. The new junior cycle framework incorporated a modernised curriculum across all subjects in a balanced range of assessment modes that provides a learning experience appropriate to the needs of the 21st century. It provides students with learning opportunities that strike a better balance between learning knowledge and then developing a wide range of skills and thinking abilities. In addition, the National Council for Special Education has advised that while they offered professional teaching learning on a collective basis over past years, take-up was low, and they now provide advisory support directly to schools who require support on an individual basis. Furthermore, their support schools can apply for in-school support, where a professional learning leader will respond to the contextual needs of the school and their learners. And it's recognised that students are diverse, and through the provision of a wide range of supports for teachers are supported to examine and develop teaching and learning approaches that meets the needs of all learners, including gifted and talented students. And there's also bespoke on-site school-based support, which allows teachers and school leaders to respond directly to the needs of all learners in their own unique context.
Spot on time, exactly 4 minutes. Great timing. Now, Senator Riley, I'll ask you to make your concluding remarks.
Now, I want to say respectfully to the Minister that I'm heartened by the fact that he says this is incorporated into a policy statement yesterday, that it's there's an onus on BOMs, etc., and that the primary curriculum is new in this regard. And I agree with him with the differentiated teaching approaches. But I say respectfully to the Minister, while all this is a theoretical framework and is there and is in the writing, the reality in schools across this country, truthfully, is that there's not an adequate focus on these 10% of the children who are potentially the leaders of our country, will lead the economy, will lead every facet of our society and indeed the world. So I think while we have a theoretical framework, we don't have a reality. I'm proud that we have that reality in Breffni College in Cavan. But Minister, could you please bring to Cabinet, bring to the Minister for Education, the fact that by a proactive approach from the Department of Education, we need this. We need every school to be a Breffni College. We need every second level school in Ireland to focus on this cohort of children. Now, of course, and that rightly is a big focus on the weaker students, and absolutely that's an absolute priority, and one that we do well and need to do even better and keep doing. But I'm talking about something we're not doing well, and this is the top 10%. And I respect the Minister's response, I respect his sincerity, but I think we need to give this practical expression on the ground.
You never lost a good moonshore ability, Senator Riley. Minister.
Thanks so much, and look, I'll absolutely reflect the feedback and perspective that you've given on particularly the success of what's happening in Breffni College in Cavan, and the needs of making sure that all children and young people are given the opportunity to thrive based on their ability, and I suppose your point is trying to mainstream that in a much more significant and substantive way within our education system. And I think, as I said, the Minister has set out to me in the context of taking this on her behalf, of the fact that we have a framework which enables that. But I think your point is what's the outworking of that in the context of schools and how they do it in a practical basis. So I reflect that point in terms of the points that you've raised today to the Minister, and ensuring that everyone in our classroom, from those who need exceptional levels of support and everyone gets that opportunity to fulfil their opportunity within the education system, and we bring that to our attention, and I appreciate you raising this today.